let's see how this goes. What's up? I am gonna reactivate this channel. In September 2023, I ended up in a relationship. Part of me regrets it, the other part of me doesn't. But that relationship, out of the beginning, I was quite in respect because respect of them and I cared about them. The problem is I was not knowledgeable in relationships. I may have been in my 30s at the time, but it was my first ever serious relationship. My prior relationships, which were two, were not as bad as this one eventually ended up being, but still weren't good. So I didn't understand what it was to be in a good relationship and that I should leave. Anyways, in that process, within a few months, I got pregnant. I had a child. I just stopped because of that whole process and being excited about being a kid. And I loved being a mother. I still do. He's in the other room right now screaming at Fortnite, I think. I don't know. I'm not going to ask him. He's 11 years old now. He's almost 12. But I thought maybe it was my mental health. And that was what was wrong and kept me quiet for so long. But the truth is I was just slowly secluded. So I stopped talking to people online. Everything else. Eventually, the relationship got dangerous to the point it was almost deadly. And the state intervened because he also forced us into being homeless here in California. So the state intervened and required me some classes that made me realize that I had no clue what I was doing or what was going on. And at the point of that isolation, I mean, I'd been trying, I think from 2018 or 2019 until last year, which was 2025. I had been trying to escape it, but at the same time didn't want to leave it. And I think that class really helps. And just a message, real quick: if you are in a relationship you can't get out of, or something's keeping you holding on, but it feels dangerous. I almost died 3 times, maybe more. I lost count of the times that I found myself face down into a ground or being smothered. So that stuff started in 2021. But if you're ever in something wrong, reach out. If you don't feel comfortable reaching out to family, I mean, it can be embarrassing for people. I get that. I was scared and embarrassed. I was also just scared in general. Gaining mental health issues. I have MDD, which is major depressive disorder, anxiety, and a mood disorder where I have no control of my emotions. This all occurred after I gave birth. But if you ever find yourself in these situations, reach out to someone. There are plenty of organizations that will talk. I don't care if you're hearing, you're deaf, or whatever. Reach out. It's important. People die because they're afraid to reach out. Anyways, back to my story. Over these years until last year, I was quiet about my life, didn't reach out, didn't record anything except videos of my kid on occasion. And I thought my main issue was my mental health. It's not. This whole thing of trying to respect them, who they are, and their wishes just made me become quiet. I stopped posting on the internet. I stopped everything. I was in full isolation here in California, if you thought about it. I mean, there was no one. And I didn't realize that till last year after I left them and decided to move on. And I came to the realization of how lonely and abandoned I was when a friend re-entered my life. Since that time, I've had 2 friends helping me, and I've reconnected to a few close friends. Not that many. I think it's a total of 4 people. And I'm slowly coming back to myself. Domestic violence is not easy to recover from. I still have trauma. There are times my son will act like his father, and the way his father would act before it got dangerous. My son doesn't mean to, learn behaviors. And I will be triggered. But my friends have helped me recover, to come back to myself, to be able to be open again and talk about things. So I want to do this again. I was in the middle of creating a podcast for me and my mom, and then I remembered this channel, and I wanted a place for me to be me, whereas the podcast would just be for me and my mom. Because once you get to my age, sometimes there are just things you need to do for yourself, and that's what the podcast is for. But I want to go back to doing videos. And not to say I haven't been. I've actually been on TikTok posting stuff from time to time, but oh shit, that's not even on. But it's lost any nuance to me, because a lot of my friends have given up on social media. If I find things I want to share with them, it has to be through something like YouTube. All of these other applications require you to create an account to sign in. Like, I hate having a Facebook account, but it keeps me connected with family, but that's more personal because Facebook deleted my original account, and that's 9 years or more of, actually, it's over 10 years of stuff. Deleted my son's baby pictures, him as a toddler, and everything else. But I'm trying to switch here over to YouTube and get back to what I was doing, because I want to be open. I want to share my life. I want to speak again. Only thing I probably won't share that much is my son, because he needs his privacy. He, on the other hand, does not think he needs it, but it's my job as a parent to be like, no, you do need it. You don't understand how these things work. He thinks that people go on YouTube, they become billionaires, and they get rich, and I'm like, let's talk about the legalities of this. So, yeah. I am going to try and become active again. I have already, so this whole thing is longer than it should be. I am going to try and be active again. I'm going to try and post. If anyone's interested in my podcast, it's Appalachian Tales. I could connect it, I don't know. Right now, I'm just on this tablet because I have no software to make videos with. And trying to figure that out with my computer. So, just doing this right now unedited. But Appalachian Tales will be me and my mom, whenever I can get her to do this. Me and my mom talking about Appalachian life for her. Because I didn't grow up in the Appalachians. I grew up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, which are a smaller version and do not work the same as the deep Appalachians. I have a few other projects in mind, because I'm at home a lot now. My mental health is getting better in one sense and bad in another. I'm becoming better learning about my mental health and how to do that, but I want to continue what I've been doing on TikTok here, because I'm finding more of what I want to do and how I want to present it to the world. And now that YouTube allows you to have accounts without creating new emails, hurrah! But we'll see how it goes. I actually found a camera of mine, not the old one I used to use. It's one that I got when I was in school a few years ago. we'll see how that goes too. Let's see if it still works. Whew, whew. But thought I'd share. I am going to go back to my podcast that I was listening to. My thing right now is podcasts. Why? Because I have ADHD, and if it's something I can listen to while I'm cleaning, I'd rather do that, because if it takes my visual attention, I'm just going to sit and watch. This is like D&D. My son's into D&D, so I listen to D&D stuff so I can understand the things going on. Plus, I mean, I like hilarious stuff. It is very well known how off track D&D players are. And this is quite hilarious. Whether or not I have captions on this, I have no clue. I will feel completely disrespectful if I don't, but there's nothing I can do. This is being recorded on my tablet of all things. And YouTube captions suck. We'll see how it goes. I'll talk more about my life later. This don't feel good. I have this in that closet is a washer and a dryer, and my allergies are acting up because of the dust coming out of there. I need to clean that area. Alright, you guys have a good day. I don't know where the button went. Trust me, all of this is unedited.